So get all this clean for the swing arm, get all that cleaned out and get all the rust off everything. I'm going to have to replace these bearings, but they're not so bad that I can't use them now. Do the same thing here. These bearings in here, you probably, well, maybe you can see it. See? I'm just going to grease that puppy up. The other two are okay. Get all that cleaned out. And I'm going to go ahead and ride this thing, and then the bearings will come, and in a couple of weeks I'll replace all this. Okay, so this is the configuration. Okay. And then we'll swing this up into place. Go up here, I guess. Nope. So we have a collar, and then there's a seal. Alright, and then there's this bearing, there's a seal. Then when we put the engine in, you'll see there's a gap that measures 2.2 in here. Then you have your engine. Then you've got this gap. Then we have this gap. This is the left side. It looks like the right because I'm standing at the front looking back. But this gap will not allow me to put that collar in there. That collar is 0.275. This gap is 0.220. This gap here and this gap here, I'm going to just give them a number for like 60, 80 thou. So now we're standing at the back. Again, you know, a collar. Over to here, there's a gap here. You'll see when I put the engine in. And then we got this gap here, which is just entirely insufficient for that collar. The shaft that runs through, everything slides the way you'd expect it to. So you can see that gap there, and this collar fits in. This is the left side where I can't fit the collar into the frame. We can put it in here. Now these bearings need to be replaced. I should say the seals need to be replaced. I can put this in here. See, that's not kosher, huh? Alright, so anyhow, I can fit this in here. And I get a number of roughly 2.40. That's on the left. On this side I get about 5 thousandths less, but that's irrelevant because our problems are in orders of a 1/4 inch or many thousandths of an inch on this side. Like I'll show you when we get the swing arm installed. So I'm completely fucking baffled. Never seen anything like this. So I didn't pay any attention when I was disassembling this. I power washed it, pulled it apart. It came apart okay, despite its neglect. The axle drove out with some stiffness, but that was just because it needed a little lubrication. Nothing is bent that I can see, and if they were bent, it would have to be like this. Well, you'd see something like that. When I measure that gap, I get 0.1, well, I've messed it up, but it's about 3.0. Well, we'll make it 4.0. And I'm getting roughly the same number here. I'm getting a 3.5, 135. Now there's some, some little issues. You can see that this surface, this is the right side. That looks a little different than this surface. There's some minor surface blemishes, but that explains nothing. Now this is the inner. There's a seal in here. The seal needs to be replaced. The seal wasn't properly installed because it's slightly tilted. On the right side, the depth, I can put the screwdriver in further, right? So there's something there. And this is the side, the right side, that has this 0.220 gap. So this is a piece of exposed axle here, and then the engine, and then this gap here is some number that I'm arbitrarily saying is 60, 80 thou. Alright, let's take a look at it with the engine in place. And this. Now I understand my confusion. So this is the new unit back here. These are the bearing inserts. See, they're on the inside. What happened here was the bearings were improperly pushed in, and to compensate for that, you see what happens? Okay, so they pushed the bearing in so far and inserted it on this side, and now I've got this swing arm, which is pretty dirty inside here, but hopefully I can get it cleaned up. So that's why the swing arm would go back and forth like that. That would explain the chipping of the sprocket. The swing arm's like this, if you will, and it starts pulling that chain against the side of the sprocket and chips the tooth. Alright, so now we don't have any funny gaps. Right? Everything is right. I'm trying to flex the swing arm. Of course you can't see that, so it was a learning curve. eBay, $45 delivered. Well, the bearings are $45. So I suggest you go to eBay. Well, the manual shows the axle going through this way, but I can't do that because this right here has been flattened, whether you see it or not, so I can't get the bolt in, the nut on.